Supplementation. What to do about supplementation? So, there is so much confusion right now in the raw vegan communities about supplementation. Should I be taking it? Should I not be taking it? What am I supposed to be doing? Is it necessary? Is it not necessary? So let's just take a deep breath and have a look at exactly what the issues are here. So, human beings have the ability to take food, and by food, I mean real food. Food is something that grows and it comes from the earth. It is nurtured by the soil, by water. It is also nurtured by ether, space, sun, moon, the stars, and fire, sun, moon, the stars, and the earth itself. So we have in our bodies the need for elements. We're made up of the same elements as the food is. So all we're doing is replenishing the fire within us. In Ayurveda, it's called the Agni, and the Agni has to do with the fire in the belly. And we are replacing all the different elements like water and air and earth and ether, space within ourselves. So we really just need that to live. That's what we need to live, is just the replenishment of the elements. So there was a time, once upon a time, the soil was replete with nourishment. That's before we put DDT on it, radon, Roundup, before we started genetically modifying foods in a laboratory. And we also had the HSOs, the homeostatic organisms were rich in the soil, which we need for the gut flora and for us to flourish. Now, because of all the damage we've done to the soil and the pollution, unfortunately, the soil is not as rich and nutrient dense, and it doesn't have all the elements in the same proportions as it did before, most of the soil, unless, of course, you're living near the Amazon or on the outskirts of the Amazon or in the Amazon or in a rainforest. So here we have a problem that we're no longer eating foods as rich and as nourishing and as nutrient high as possible. Now, fruits are the highest form of electrical charges, and that will give the body a tremendous amount. But is it enough? Are we still missing iodine? Are we missing the vitamin D from the sun if we're not in the sun on a regular basis? Most of us live lifestyles where we are secluded most of the time. We're indoors most of the time, whether it's on a bus, a train, a car, a truck, whatever, or in a home or an office. And we're not outdoors enough. So now there's a big trend of supplementing with vitamin D. But in truth, the body knows how to create the vitamin D from the sun. And so we need to start questioning ourselves, are we creating the problems with our own lifestyle? Why not go to the root of the problem and change the lifestyle instead? Like, make sure you're outdoors in the, whether it's, even if it's cloudy, the sun is still out. We're just not seeing it because the cloud is covering it up. But just go outside minimum an hour a day, and drink and eat the water that's in the fruits and in a lot of vegetables as well. Why not instead change our lifestyles? So if we do not change our lifestyle, the need always continues. So if we start supplementing and we have progress and we see that it really helps us and it's made a difference, and you don't change your lifestyle, that means you're addicted for life to getting supplementation. And remember, if you just keep pouring the supplementation in the body stops making it, because the body isn't going to poison us by then making more, and then we have too much, and then we get sick from over abundance of these nutrients. And remember, nutrients do not happen on their own. They happen in synergy with other things. You can't just take vitamin C. You have to have certain things in order for potassium, for example, to be digested. You need to have other minerals intact, and you have to have the proper amount. Nature knows how to make the proper amount and restore it within us. But when we start doing things in a lab, and we start creating supplementations in lab, and boys, they're a big push right now to do so, then what we find is that we are taking things that have been actually processed. And we're told that we need to have this for food. But food doesn't come in a tablet or in a capsule. Food actually comes out of the earth. Just like human beings do not come out of a test tube, we come out of a womb. So what are we looking at here? Whether or not to believe the huge amount of incredible push right now and pressure to take supplementation, you need to ask yourself, am I getting addicted? Is this another addiction that I am getting into? Am I focusing on things that my body can do for itself? And instead of cleaning out my body so that it can digest whatever food I'm taking in now, even though that might be of lower nourishment, but it can use it. Instead of cleaning out my absorption system, the parts of my body which help to absorb the nutrients of the food, and instead of cleaning out my eliminatory system that's clogged up so that I can eliminate out the toxins and no longer have deficiencies, then maybe I don't need to do this. But what is it about humans that they want always the quick fix and the quick solution? I think we have just been conditioned to do so. It's not innate within us, not at all. It's just pure conditioning. We've listened to a lot of advertisements that come dressed up in very glossy, seductive packages, and that we're given into those. So if we lie down on the soil, we take time to what's now called packaged as grounding, and you just go barefoot in the soil. You don't need most of this stuff. Just be outdoors and just be with nature and spend time with nature, and you find that you don't need it. And if you have deficiencies, most of us are highly deficient in certain things, then just change your diet to a highly efficient form of energy, which is usually fruits and some greens. Like, there are some greens that are on this planet that most people unfortunately do not know about. And things from the sea, such as sea moss. And we just need to change our diets. But before we do that, it doesn't matter if we have not cleaned up our digestive system, and that includes the eliminatory system and how the food is absorbed. Because if you don't absorb it and you're taking all of these supplements, you're not absorbing it, what's the point? Then you're just going to need to take more and more and more because you see you're still deficient. But you need to clean out your system first. You need to restore your digestive system, your eliminatory system, and the way your body absorbs food. You need to make sure that your body's absorbing what you're giving it in its most delicious, its most ready form, which is in the form of fruits or greens. So thank you for listening today. I trust you will take some time to question everything that you do. Question. Might I ask you to just take one thing away from this today? Besides clicking the notification button, your hands up button if this helped, and subscribing, is that you start questioning everything. Do not give yourself over to the manufacturing industry. Your body is not meant to be manufactured. It's meant to radiate joy and love and vibrancy. You're meant to glow from within so that you can glow without. And nature's given us everything we need to do that. Just change our lifestyles. Thanks. And I'm not saying that temporarily, after you've cleaned out your systems and everything is working, that you cannot take some supplementation just to restore things and to make sure that any deficiencies is cleared up, but do not do it for a long time. Thanks, everyone. And I look forward to seeing you here for more elegantly